sallallahu alaihi wasallam said no. But then you realize that in our society, in Surah Ali Imran also, Allah says, "Walillahi ala nasi hijjul baiti man istata'a ilayhi sabila." That is, at insecurity pilgrimage, there is a duty man or to Allah, those who can afford the journey. But sometimes in our society, you realize that some people don't really take that into consideration. Some may be navigating in a very competitive climate. Probably they don't even think that, well, I need to go to Mecca to perform this pilgrimage of faith. But then probably Dr. Senghor is my neighbor, is a relative or a friend.
And he's going to
Mecca. Therefore, I really need to go. It's like navigating in a very competitive climate where you feel that it's a must scenario that some will even have to resort to borrowing, begging, putting pressure on family members just to go and perform this pilgrimage to Mecca. I mean, how does Islam also see that?
Yeah, you see, there are two things now. One does not have to borrow money to go to Hajj. One doesn't have to beg just for the sake of going to Hajj. Even though, according to ulama, if somebody begs until he collects money which is adequate enough for him to travel to Hajj, if he goes to Hajj, the Hajj will be valid. Even though he doesn't have to. There's a difference between you don't have to do and the validity of the thing that you don't have to do. So one doesn't borrow money to beg. But if anybody begs and goes, the Hajj will be valid. But you don't have to. Have to borrow money for the sake of Hajj, because particularly if you are not sure of being able to repay the loan. According to ulama, if you are sure that you can repay the loan, there is a security for you to repay the loan, and you definitely will pay it, then this time it will be accepted and the Hajj will be valid. But you know,
it's not a must scenario.
No. It's not a must scenario, and most of us.
Competition is also part of the problem.
Yes.
Some may not even think, like I said.
Exactly.
You never hear them. And go to the extent of mentioning this person's name.
Yes.
Dr. Senghor.
And like what
what will people say? Do you hear all kinds of stories? Definitely.
You know, sometimes I say the foolish they tease us. The foolish they tease us. The serious and the jolas they tease us. They say we are converts, and for us the converts sometimes we come in with certain traditions or tendencies or practices which are not necessarily Islamic. And if we are not properly briefed or properly educated, we will not be able to break completely from the un-Islamic days and then enter Islam completely. So we carry things that are un-Islamic into the Islamic field.
Exactly.
This is a big problem. Like this competition you are talking about. That I said I went to Makkah last year. She's my neighbor. I have to go this year.
You keep on pressurizing people.
Oh, she has gone twice. I have to go twice.
That's right.
You understand? Oh, this is how he was.
You're not going because of Allah.
Yeah.
Innamal a'malu binniyat.
That aspect of it is not Islamic.
It's not.
It's at all.
Go because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't mention anybody's name.
Exactly. And in this case, if you understand it that way, one will not be under pressure. You only know that you can only go, you are only supposed to go when you can go. And if you know that you cannot go, you cannot go. Like if you sit down, when you're sitting, a beggar comes to beg. If you know that you don't have anything to give, and when you give for the sake of God. No matter how small you give for the sake of Allah. If you have anything to give, you give. But if you don't have to give, if you don't have anything to give, because you know that you give for the sake of Allah, and Allah knows that you don't have it. Therefore, you are not under pressure. God knows everything. God is nearer to each of us than our own heart in the sun. So, and the heart is source of life for every individual human person. So if you understand things properly, you don't have to be under unnecessary pressure. I think that is why it is very important for us to, as we always say, to make sure that we understand Islam. And there's a difference between loving religion and understanding religion. Yes, it's good to love any religion. It's good to love any that one would want to adhere to. But what is most important for every person is to understand the teachings and the principles of the religion very well. Thereafter, after proper understanding, the love will be genuine, it will be realistic. It will be genuine and it will be realistic. But if there's no proper understanding, if there's no knowledge, most of the things that we do might not be genuine or they might not be realistic. So therefore the ulama, the scholars, the preachers ought to continue preaching, to continue explaining the objective of Hajj, not only Hajj, all the devotional activities of Islam, so that people can understand it very well.
Thank you again, Doctor. You've brought about reason and clarity to this must scenario. Try forcing yourself to go when you cannot go. Because it just creates confusion and turmoil into the minds of some people.
Yeah.
Any kind of advice do you have pilgrims now as they as the journey, this journey of faith is not easy, it's very challenging, it's full of vicissitudes. And some people, sometimes they just lose their temper. And Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah again, فَمَنْ فَرَزَ فِيهِ الْحَجَّ فَلَا رَفَاسَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. If anyone undertakes the duty therein, let there be no obscenity, no wickedness, no wrangling in the Hajj. Some people can easily lose their tempers. Easily forget that they are in Mecca. You even have to calm them down. Even if you are not careful, they can even explode on you.
They can fight.
They are ready to fight. Exactly.
And like I said before, like this is the largest gathering of mankind on earth, and the most peaceful gathering. It's meant to be comprehensively, totally peaceful.
Exactly.
There's no room for quarreling. There's no room for fighting, and that is why sometimes even if anybody wants to get another person will just draw your attention to the police. Fear God, fear God, fear God. For the sake of yes, so that's why my advice to them is before they leave, let them understand that this is not an easy mission. Hajj is not easy.
It's not like
Hajj is very hectic.
Places they are used to sometimes.
Yes. There will be
not like you are going.
Exactly. There will be facilities provided by the national carrier, including the Hajj guides. There will be all the facilities on the ground. But no matter how much facilities they give, no matter how much of it they give, 98% of it will depend on you, the pilgrim. Your financial strength and your physical strength. Hajj is not an easy mission. Prepare yourself well. I saw in a number of instances, sometimes some people will be just sitting where they are sitting. They are not doing anything. And anyways, they say, where is Ustaz? Where is the Hajj? Ustaz, Ustaz, I have not eaten. Ustaz, I have not eaten. Ustaz, go and buy me water. Go and, that's nonsense.
Because
it's not part of the Hajj.
Treat them like trash.
Exactly. The guide is supposed to teach you the principles of Hajj. And also, of course, these are the people that know the environment very well. If you want to get to a shop, they can guide you. If you know, but you have to do, you must be prepared to perform the Hajj by yourself. I also saw a situation where in Mina, when people after the Arafat, the guide they come and mobilize people to go in groups for the Jamra. You see, few of particular women, some of them will be sleeping. They wake them up. They will not wake up until the group go and come, and they will now get up and say, "Ustaz, take me to." And this is a very long distance. Good.
Authoritative tone,
and the distance
subjected to that kind of authority.
Very good.
Talking to you anyhow, it's not easy.
And the distance is very long. It's a long distance.
That's right.
So from the